Hey guys, welcome back to Make That Sea Change. Paul here with you again today. And Make That Sea Change is my site and channel aimed at assisting those of you looking to get set up with your own online business. And as part of that, today we're going to talk about how to sell 4x4 or four-wheel drive parts online. This one come across my field of vision. I don't know what I was trying to say there. This one came to my attention based on the fact that I have a four-wheel drive and I needed some parts for it. And the guy who was adding the parts to it said I need to get online and buy some certain parts. So ding, ding, ding. Here we go. Let's see if there's something that's of interest there. When you take the step back from that, however, I mean, four-wheel driving it falls in the hobby niche. It's into the collectors and renovators niche. It's in the professional use niche. People use it for, businesses, stuff like that. And it's something that there's a big market for. A lot of people have four-wheel drive, especially where I live. I live near the beach and everyone has a four-wheel drive here for some reason. Well, I know the reason because I drive it on the beach. But, that's a very long-winded way of saying it's a very popular niche and it has all the buying elements as in hobbies, professionals, collectors, so on and so forth. So I think it is something that we could turn into an online business. And today we're going to look at that from the point of view of, what we are looking at as far as when we talk about 4x4, what we can do how we can sell the parts and what we need to build to get that up and running. But before we do that, the first thing I always like to do is have a look at the statistics just to make sure that there's a market for it. So I'll take you to the post. I'm not going to spend a lot of time in here. You can have a good look through this post as in your own time, but everything I talk about is obviously written in the post here. So number of monthly searches, 4x4, 42,500 odd searches per month, which is pretty good. And you can see some hybrids, all-terrain vehicles, particular brands, off-road, 4x4 truck parts, because 4x4s are often called trucks. My wife calls my four-wheel drive my truck. So that's another aspect to look at it. And then if we get in 4x4 parts, where you've got 5,000 odd searches per month for 4x4 parts. And again, you can see Toyota, Ford Ranger, Toyota Tacoma, 1978 Ford F-150. That's pretty specific, but 64 people per month on average search for that. So it means there's obviously a market there for that. And then we look at 4x4 driving. So courses, off-road driving, experience, lights, experience. So people looking for either information on how to do it, and think about that for when we talk about how we can sell these products, sell 4x4 later on. Probably away from the parts and more into the learning how to do it. So people looking for the experience, so on and so forth there. So very good market, very good numbers there. And if we look at trends, 4x4 parts over the past 5 years, maybe the narrowest of dips there. Nothing that would cause me concern. And over 5 years, that's been quite good and quite steady. So all in all, based on our statistics, I see a very, very good option here as far as selling 4x4 parts online is concerned. So from there, let's talk about, when we mention 4x4 parts, what it is that we're trying to sell. So the first thing we're going to look at here then is, what is our niche? What problems are we solving, and who is our target audience? Because they're the things that we need to have in at the back of our mind before we work out how we're going to sell these parts. Now, when we talk about niche, 4x4 parts is probably one of those things that is narrow enough that you could probably base a whole online business around it. That said, when we looked at the stats a minute ago, we saw that there was a particular interest in specific makes and models. So you might build your online business around the Ford F-150 or the Toyota Tacoma. You'd probably want to go more to the area where there's new and not vintage, but old models like the Ford F-150, those sort of things, because there's a real collector's element to it, especially if you know of vehicles that are no longer in the market. The old Land Cruisers, the old Toyota Land Cruisers in the UK, can get hundreds of thousands of dollars. And the same thing is starting to happen in Australia because Holden is no longer made here. So people with old Holdens are starting to get good returns for their products. So that's one niche you could have. It could be focusing on a specific make or model. You could be focusing on particular parts of the four-wheel drive. So you could just do, four-wheel driving's a lot about big wheels and big shocks and lift kits and the like. So that could be your focus there, just the lift kits. It could be the motors for people who are renovating or doing up their old 4x4s. It could be insurances and what's the word you're looking for when you're allowed to go somewhere? Permits and stuff like that. So you could be covering that side of it. It could be internal parts, so all the dash and the seat covers and the snatch straps for emergency recovery and all those sort of things. So effectively, anything to do with 4x4 parts, you could cover either as part of a general niche or narrow it down. Now, if you're struggling to think about narrowing it down, the next area we can then look at is problem solving. So if you know what problems you can solve, that could help determine what the niche is that you're going to do. So I mentioned snatch straps a minute ago. So if you're an expert in disaster recovery or vehicle recovery for a four-wheel drive, I got mine bogged the other week in some mud, and luckily there was more than one car in our group. So the other car had to throw on a snatch strap and drag me out kicking and screaming from the mud. So you could run through the problems of what type of straps to use. Where my nose is itchy. I shouldn't touch my nose so much, but it's itchy. So you could be looking at the problems of, I need to snatch cars out on a sand. What's the best type of strap to use for that? What shackles do I need? What mounts do I need on my car? So on and so forth, to try and make sure that you are covering all the problems that people are going to have when it comes to vehicle recovery. What points do I use? Where can I attach my straps? And then you look at that and go, okay, well, that's probably too small a niche. So I'm going to cover that as part of sand driving. So sand driving becomes your next area. So how to drive in sand, what tyres do you need? What shock absorbers do you need? What are some techniques? That's not particularly parts, but it's still part of the 4x4 niche. So if you know what problems you're solving, and think about what are you an expert at, or what are you really good at, or what do you know about within four-wheel driving? That's the problems that you can solve, which takes you back to your niche. Then also think about your target audience. Hardcore four-wheel drivers will want the best of everything. We went out recently, out what we call out bush, out in the wilderness, out in the woods, wherever it is you come from. And we went on some pretty rough tracks. In fact, it took us about an hour and 10 minutes to go 7 kilometers, which is, if my math does me correctly, that's about just over 5 miles for an hour and a bit. So that's how rough the road was. When we got to the top, there were some guys there who had four-wheel drives that had absolutely everything on, and they were saying it took them half an hour. So obviously with the equipment they've got and all that sort of stuff, if they're the people you're targeting, they're going to want to know the best of everything. So if you know what the best of everything, the latest and greatest is, and you're targeting those, then you're going to work that back to your niche to be all about super hardcore four-wheel driving. If you're targeting me, who has a four-wheel drive that isn't super hardcore, you're going to target me to, how to maintain it, how to drive on those tracks, and general day-to-day products. So what you're selling might be slightly differently in how you sell it. So that's what you think about when we look to set up an online business. What niche are you targeting? What problems are you solving? And who are your target audience? And as I mentioned, if you're not quite sure on your niche, if you think about the problems you're solving, that could lead you into a nice niche there. So that is what we're looking for in the first aspect, those 3 elements. From there, how are we going to sell these products? Now, there's quite a few different options that I've listed here within the post. I think if I have a look on the other screen here, there is 4 or 5 options that I've come up with that you can use for selling 4x4 parts online. The first 2 are selling the products of others. The third one is selling the products of others, but you're selling them as your own. And the next option is obviously things that you're making. And then we've got coaching like as well. So let's start with selling the products of others. And the first one here is affiliate marketing. So affiliate marketing is, let's go back to our big four-wheel drive fanatics that we come across in this track. They want some new shock absorbers. So you're going to do a post to solve their problem. They want new shock absorbers. What's my problem? I don't know which shock absorbers are best for heavy rock track driving. So you write a post, or you put on your website, what are the 3 best shock absorbers to try for off-road rough driving? You'll go in, you'll write all about the 3 different types of shocks. This shock's good for this one's good for that, this one's good for that. Avoid this one if this, avoid that one if that, so on and so forth. And then at the bottom, you'll have links where I can purchase any of those shocks based on your recommendations. Now, once I click on that link to purchase, you don't see me again. You don't handle the sale, you don't handle the shipping, you don't handle customer service. You've linked me off to a vendor who makes that sale, and then that vendor pays you a commission for that sale. So if you've sold a pair of $600 shocks and you get 10% commission, you'll get $60 based on that sale from your post. And the beauty of affiliate marketing is if you have 100 people coming in each week and reading that post, and 10 of them sell, there's $600 a week that you're making. So how does that all work? So I'll take you back in the post, and as I said, I'm not going to read you through word for word. In here, he talks about the problem solving and all that sort of stuff. But affiliate marketing, so if I do a search online for affiliate 4 and 4x4, you can see I've got all these programs here. 4x4 accessories at Tough Toys, Morris 4x4, 4Drive Club affiliate program, 4x4 concepts. So these are all different online shops that offer affiliate programs. You search for them, look through and find the ones that match what you're trying to do better. So you might do affiliate 4x4 tyres or affiliate 4x4 driving, or whatever it is that you've narrowed your niche down to. Once you find ones that look okay, click on it, have a look at it, make sure it relates to your niche, has good products, check their payment, customer service arrangements, etc., etc. And then you'll need to apply. So once you find it, you apply for that program. You'll need things like your website information. Some of them look for social media. You'll need to give a blurb of who you are, why you want it, etc., etc. And then if they approve you, they'll send you links. Those links you then add to your site. They'll send you banners that you can put little pictures, banners on your site and the like as well. And that way, when people click on it, they go off, they purchase whatever it is that you've joined from the vendor, you make the commission on the sale. Just be aware that if your site is brand new, you might get rejected a little bit to start with, because a lot of these affiliate programs like websites with traffic. Try Amazon. There's some information about that in the post as well. So that's affiliate marketing. The next one we've got, which is where you're selling the products of others as well, is drop shipping. Now what drop shipping is, it's almost the same thing. You don't hold inventory, you don't manage the sale, you don't manage the shipping, or you can manage the sale. You strike a deal with the supplier, and then you add whatever price, you put whatever price point on. So if we go back to our shock absorbers again, I might have struck a deal with the supplier where he will sell the shock absorbers for $200. I then go online, do all my normal stuff. I can put a price of $300, $400, $500, $600, whatever I want on the shock absorbers. And then I've got 2 options. I can get them to manage the sale, which will cost me a little bit more, but I'll make the difference between their shipping costs, their fee for managing the sale, and the price. And then whatever price I've got, I make money on top. Or I can manage the sale through my own website and just send them the wholesale price and the shipping costs, and then they'll ship it off for me. So not a real lot of difference between affiliate marketing, drop shipping. There is some nuances to it. Amazon and those sort of platforms will actually do it for you, will do the whole lot for you, so it's almost exactly like affiliate marketing. But have a good read about it in the post, and I can take you through that. Again, get online, do a search for dropship 4x4, and you'll see companies that do that as well. So both those two, affiliate marketing and drop shipping, you write about your product, solve your problems, and then provide links where people can purchase them, and you make the commission or the difference between the sale price from there. Okay, our third option we've got within the post here is white labeling. Now what white labeling is say for example you wanted to sell car seat covers. With white labeling, you can go off to a supplier, and this is where it's starting to cost you a little more to set up. So you go off to a supplier, they will sell you 100 plain car seat covers What you do is then you sew your brand onto it and sell it as your own. That's what white labeling is. So you get something that's not branded. You brand it as your own brand, and then you sell it. You can do it if anything. You can do it for 4x4 cleaners. You can do it for in-car fresheners. You can do it for. There's not much that you can't do it for if you can find the right supplier. Shock absorbers, even get blank shock absorbers and put your picture on it. The difference there being is obviously you manage the sale, you have to hold inventory. So you hold the inventory, you manage the sale, you manage the shipping. But again, you can play with the price a lot more. You can get it maybe cheaper than you can even through the drop ship suppliers and work all that through that. So it's up to you how you want to manage that, but white labelling is your third option there. Fourth one, sell your own products. What can you make? You might make your own car seat covers. You might make your own chemical-free cleaners. You might make your own tyre rejuvenator. You might make your own specialised compartments to put on a tow bar for towing specific items. You might make there's a big business out west here trying to think of the non-ochre Australian term. Out west is what we call, out back, out in the bush, rural areas, for racks, where people do racks for shooting and hunting and stuff like that on the back of four-wheel drive. So you might make your own racks, you might make your own bull bars, you might make your own nudge bars, your own lights, your own whatever it is you can make. If you can make something, obviously you can sell it through your own website. The process is the same. Write about lights, here are my lights, this is what they do, this is what you need them for, buy my lights. Again, people click on that. And again, the difference being because you've made it, you then manage the sale and the shipping and all that sort of stuff. But the difference being is if you're making it yourself, you don't necessarily have to buy a whole inventory. You can make it as you go. As you build your business, you might not be able to keep up with that, and then you might have to organise some logistics and some supply chain and the like. But as you're setting out, it's not going to cost you as much because you can make them as the order comes in. So selling your own's the other option. And finally, think outside the square a little bit. What else can you do? Can you teach people how to drive four-wheel drives? It's not technically a part, but it is something you can do. You can teach people how to maintain them, how to maintain their shocks, how to keep sand out of the underneath. The big problem when you're driving the sand gets up into the undercarriage of your vehicle and sits in places and rusts and all that sort of stuff. So set up a YouTube channel. You're watching a YouTube channel now or a YouTube video within my post. I've got a webcam and a microphone, and I'm just shooting and just talking to you. You can do the same thing with four drives. I have a fishing site as well that I use, and I've got a little GoPro here that I take out on the kayak, and I hold it like that and shoot stuff in the kayak and put that up on my YouTube channel. And I'm showing people about using lures, about how to cast and all that sort of stuff from kayak. The sky's the limit as to what you can do with a video camera and a four-wheel drive. Show people how to maintain, people how to drive, people how to replace parts. You could start from one end of the four-wheel drive to the other and show people how to replace every single part on that four-wheel drive. Set up a whole coaching clinic. You can put on YouTube, then you can go through affiliate marketing through your YouTube, because you can put links to all the tools you use, all the parts you buy, all that sort of stuff. Or you can sell a course, so they get the first video and then they purchase the other videos from you to replace certain parts. That's another good way you can make money online with 4x4 parts. So that's it, guys. As far as selling is concerned, you've got your affiliate marketing, drop shipping, white labeling, selling your own products that you've made, or demonstrations, coaching, and the like as well. Okay, so from there, what do we need to do? Well, we need to build a website. Again, because we've talked about solving problems. I've mentioned in your posts, have a look at the post you're reading here, that's solving the problem of how you sell 4x4 parts online. So you write all about your shock absorbers, or how to change a carburetor on a F-150, or how to change spark plugs on a Dodge Ram, or on a Toyota Hilux if you're in Australia, or a Land Cruiser or Land Rover if you're in the UK, or whatever Peugeot if you're in France, whatever the four-wheel drive type is that you're looking at, how to change the spark plugs, how to choose the right spark plug, how to measure it, all those sort of things, how to check them if they still spark. All those sort of things you can do on your website. Now, if you need help building your website, below the build a website part on this post, there's a big blue box. Click on that and I can help you get your website built. The other things you'll need there then is some social media. Facebook, if you're discussing all things to do with 4x4s. We've discussed YouTube about how you can use that. Instagram, Pinterest, if you're showing photos of your four-wheel drive in sand, in rocks, in mud, in whatever it is that you use it for, or put on Instagram, today I'm replacing a carburetor and here's you with a carburetor. Link them off to your YouTube and go from there. If you're needing information, Facebook is very good if you go into your groups as well. So go into groups in Facebook, do a search for 4x4. There's an example of that in the post below. You'll see 4x4 groups. Now what they're good for A, seeing what problems people have, and B, seeing what solutions you can provide, because people give that information. I might get on and say, guys, I'm going back up to Sundowner National Park on the weekend. I'm driving on pretty heavy rocks. Can you suggest to me some checks that I need to do before I drive on that sort of rough terrain? Someone will come back, check your shocks, check this, check that, check this, check that. There's your post. What to check before going on off-roading. Bang, 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 bang. You put that problem-solving information onto your post with your links off to the tools and the shocks and everything that they've talked about. There's your post done. So get onto those Facebook groups for some information as well. Okay, guys, that's it. That's my outline of the processes to sell 4x4 parts online. Hope that was helpful for you. If you're watching this within YouTube, please like and subscribe to my channel below. That way I can keep you up to date with everything to do with 4x4. I'm about to shoot a video on 4x4 affiliate program, so you can have a look at that as well. If you are watching within the post and you have any experience selling 4x4 parts online, or if you have any questions, you need help with setting up your website, finding affiliate programs, drop shipping, white labeling, getting your website up and running, attracting visitors, anything you need help with, please comment below. Would love to hear from you and would love to help you out. Okay guys, that's it. Happy 4 driving and chat to you soon. Bye.